Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 live cast. This one we're playing a TvP on Cerulean Falls. Sending out an SCV right away.
Not enough.
I'm always a little confused on these new maps where the natural is. I guess it's to the right of his base. Alright. So we'll take our first depot.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Okay.
Additional supply depots required.
This map, this is actually a big mineral patch. It's not one you'd guess.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Alright, so that's that idea's done.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
I'll have to check the replay to see if he was able to spot my SCV somehow. I guess proxying Protoss has become very common now, so unfortunately I'm kind of playing into the meta in a bad way. Even though I'm not really proxying to kill and proxying to contain, it's still a proxy, so it still has the same scouting response. Okay. So I think, man, I mean, I kind of want to take a risk and try to go into a...
Command center upgrade complete. Command center upgrade
Pass third.
complete.
Which I
Not
think I'm going
enough
to do.
minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Probably time to take another gas.
Add on. Our SCV not under.
And we're dead. And it's over. I guess you always have to worry about War Prism, even if he's playing a macro build, which I'm not sure if he was or not, but 4 Stalkers and a Prism. Yeah, he definitely didn't have a third. Interesting. So we did send it out at the beginning of the game. And he pylon scouts, which I don't think is normal. I don't know. I face a lot of one base openers from Protoss, or just a non-scouting expansion timing, so it's hard to know. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of whether I want to do a route like shoot down here and in, or shoot over here and in to avoid that probe timing. But that means I could just get caught from a later, more normal scout. Yeah, so what I should have done is actually get another SCV out on the map. Or maybe my first Marine. First Marine's cutting it a little bit. What's more important, an SCV or Marine? Like, one gives me economy, but can I really afford to wait for my second Marine? Second Marine will still finish around the time the bunker finishes. Anyways, Marine crosses the map, takes about 40 seconds. So say we're at like 320. Yeah, that's a good timing. So it arrives, sees no expansion, and then I don't build this, and I get my usual defense, which would be turrets where it touches the low ground. So turrets, actually for this map, it would be all this whole area, and then high ground bunker where you can blink in. It's also the one prison spot you can ferry troops into. Bunker at the front, siege tanks in between them, like in this area, and repair SCVs, and then a couple of missile turrets back here too. And I think I can afford that. So, first siege tank. Well, we can just stop it when it's time to build this first siege tank. So this first siege tank is 150, 125. So I got plenty of gas. 150 puts me down to 170 minerals plus this 400. 570 minerals. So that's enough for a bunker and 4 missile turrets. Almost 5, yeah. Which could have been started all a while ago. And I could probably be at 5 Marines. Okay. Because I didn't want to be too defensive if he immediately took a Nexus when he shoved me out. Because unfortunately, playing this mech or sky sort of strategy versus Protoss puts you at a huge deficit, which means I want to be ahead economically. If he's expanded to his natural, I want to be the first one to take my third. And if I go all defensive on 2 base, he'll probably end up taking this 3rd base first. Of course, at the same time, if he's staying on 1 base, I'm going for a fast 3rd. Well, we just saw what happens there. So I need to get that information. And I definitely don't want to get it through a scan because, trying to get ahead and throwing away 240 minerals of mining is not the way to get ahead. Or 270. I don't even know how much a mule brings in anymore. They changed it, that's for sure. It used to be 270 or 300. and then they made it less. All right, anyways, we got a TvT on blue shift versus metric. TvT.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
I want to know why there's less TvPs on my channel than the other matchups. The main reason is this: I play a whole lot less Protoss. Like, they only make up about 20% of my opponent base. It's all Zerg and Terran making 80% plus.
Not enough minerals.
The other reason is games end very fast very often, which I don't think makes for a good video. Either I die really quickly, or I get that early lead and he quits really quickly. It's rare that I actually get into, like, later in the game and get to start making ravens and stuff.
Additional supply depots required.
And even when I do, sometimes his first timing push ends the game. Because there's like that weak point where ravens don't do a whole lot.
Not enough minerals.
Okay. So I got the bunker.
Command center upgrade complete. Base is under attack.
Let's let him up. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. Planetary.
Add-on complete. Command center upgrade complete. Research not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Add-on complete. Add-on complete.
Ooh, that was close.
Our SCVs are under attack. Not enough minerals.
Okay.
Not enough minerals.
So that was a little kind of close.
Additional supply depots required.
Oh.
Additional supply depots required. Our SCVs are under attack.
He may not even known that he killed that, which means he may not be looking for other ninja
Research
bases.
complete.
So he wouldn't have gotten an attack warning. He might have just been crossing the map on a move.
Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack.
Forgot to rebuild command centers.
Base is under attack. Mineral field depleted. Not enough energy. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Okay.
Insufficient Vespene gas. Upgrade complete. Insufficient Vespene gas.
Sound effects are weird. Sometimes I hear them when I really shouldn't.
Insufficient Vespene gas. Mineral field depleted.
Oh, I probably shouldn't be fighting here.
Mineral field depleted. Not enough fusion. Insufficient Vespene gas. Mineral field depleted. Insufficient Vespene gas. Insufficient Vespene gas.
Why? Why does he always kill the lead one?
SCVs are under attack. Insufficient Vespene base is under attack. Not enough fusion. Our SCVs are under attack. Insufficient Vespene gas. Mineral field depleted. Not enough fuel.
It's going down.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Shit, he spotted it.
Mineral field depleted. Insufficient Vespene gas.
I'm just so far behind.
I can't build here.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
I saw my ravens, so.
Insufficient
Problem with this build, you
Vespene
can't make one
gas.
mistake. One mistake and it's over.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack.
Yeah, I think it's over. I think it's over. Whoops, I forgot they can fire.
Base is under attack.
Not used to Liberators being like that.
Complete.
That was kind of dumb by him.
SCVs are under
But it's still enough.
Mineral field depleted.
It's right. Right there. That's my consolation prize. I guess it's a good idea to see where that game went wrong. Because even before I lost to my Ravens, I felt like I was digging out of a deficit for sure. It seemed like he was really strong. This map seems difficult to defend. There's so many wide open paths that he can attack from. Like this whole big area here. Like there's no choke points. This is just a zone he gets to hang out in and be free from seeker missiles. And then you can also attack this way. And then you also can attack over there. And then you can come up from this path as well. And I guess there's a choke point here, but... He's actually ahead on worker count, which means I've been making mistakes. Unless I lost a bunch of workers. And he's got his third orbital. So I think he went for a very greedy opener himself. Yeah. So 1 Reaper into 3 command centers. That would do it. Sorry, 1 Reaper and 1 Cyclone. So that's why it's just so difficult. Then you got a bunch of worker kills here as well, right? And a whole bunch of stop mining. I almost straight out lost the game, even though he went 3 command center. Yeah, now he's up 10 workers. And is taking 2 more bases. 3 more bases. Yeah, we're just in a ton of trouble here. 70 workers. 70 workers, 5 bases. And he's got us on the back foot. I mean, I'll face Terrans who are this greedy, but oftentimes those are the games where I can do whatever I want because of being that greedy, he takes a defensive stance. This guy's being offensive and greedy. That was a big mistake. Alright, so this is probably the point in the game where I'm at my strongest. So we got 8 Ravens. Pretty dried out. Looks like I got about 4 auto turrets, maybe 5. Bunch of command centers. 70 workers. Army supply is in his favor, about 2 to 1. About 1.5 to 1. He has 2-2 complete as well. Wow. He's going mass command centers and double engineering bay. I mean, I feel like I just lose this game no matter what. But let's continue on to see where the mistake was I made. Because, I mean, eventually, if I don't die, right, then my composition becomes better than his. Of course, he can always change compositions with that economy behind it. And 2,000 gas banked up. His gas intake is double mine. That's pretty bad. So he's mining gas at all these bases, but he's going to bio. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense in terms of available resources. But he could be planning a transition. I don't know. That's just for siege tanks. No, and all reactor. He has no Yeah, he has no plan to switch compositions, so he's just mining way too much gas. So this was a mistake, right? He's in a tough spot to stop because he's along the top where I want to be putting auto turrets. And then I just kind of go for the defense. And it works. But now we're down to 2 Ravens, and the game's over. So, depends how you define works. This is my opportunity to stab that base again. I had no idea he was coming down here, though. I mean, maybe if I got a double planetary here and a siege tank behind. He was sending out these scout marines, though. Forced me to waste all my auto turrets. Committed suicide with all of his medevacs. I was making siege tanks this game that weren't doing anything at all. All they were doing was cutting into my Raven count. Something I've been trying to mix into my game. Like once you kind of establish your third and pushed away his initial siege tank pressure, if he's doing that, just start building tanks one at a time. Because a tank behind a planetary is helpful versus bio and helpful versus mech. And it gives you a little something against Thors. So it's like a minor improvement versus everything. Which means if I can caught off guard by a tech switch, like all of a sudden he's making a bunch of Thors, then I don't feel as dead in the water. It's like, yeah, if he's going to walk through 2 planetaries and 2 siege tanks, then yeah, he's going to take some damage, even with Thors. This is one of those games where, because of his economy, I had to play perfect, and a couple engagements were poor. And even if I play perfect, like perfect means not trying to save a base that I can't save, or take an engagement, or throw down auto turrets that's not going to be helpful. And if I always avoid those situations, there's a chance he might just kill all my bases and bleed me out. But if that doesn't happen, and I'm making perfect decisions, then my Raven force is always going to keep growing and growing. And maybe we could turn this game around at some point because of that. It's pretty random. Anyways, with that, we'll call it the end of this video. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.